Dancing, dancing, dancing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I'm Wendy Stuart.
And I'm Tym Moss.
So, Tim, I have to ask you a personal question.
Ask me anything.
What kind of hair day are you having today?
It's a wet, moist hair day. I will probably look like I'm trying to think of his name. Purple Haze.
Purple Haze.
Well, I will look like Jim Hendrix. I will look like Jim Hendrix by the end of the day.
Okay, he said Purple Haze. I was thinking Purple Rain. You can totally understand how that would happen. Well, you know what? It is raining cats and dogs out there today,
but really bad.
But it's not going to rain on our parade. And speaking of parades, my God. This Sunday, the Easter. First of all, we have so much to tell you about Easter. But
right, I was just that's why I was looking. It was on my schedule this last week to see all the stuff.
So incredible! The Easter parade was just absolutely one of the best I can ever remember. Best hats, best all over costumes, and the attitude. Fifth Avenue was explosive with flowers and smiles and just the creativity in the hats, from birds nesting to chihuahuas and head to toe dressing. Every chihuahua should be in head to toe dressing. And the glitter, the glam, and the tourists, you know what? Everyone was just it was so kumbaya. It was so New York. And we had perfect weather, of course.
Yeah.
My favorite picture was the picture I took with the two anti-terrorist policemen. And they weren't watching the crowd. They were posing for pictures with me. No, they were very...
Well, thank goodness for them.
Right. But thank goodness for them. And they came out looking hot in the pictures. And you can catch a lot of my stuff on Instagram and, of course, my Facebook page, Wendy Stuart.
Well, while she was at the Easter parade, I had attended Unity, which I had not been in years, and it was just like an old a family reunion. I got to see people and friends that I hadn't seen since way before the pandemic. So it was just a very joyous celebration for me as well. Yeah. It was just a joyous. And then later, Easter evening.
Guess what we did?
I met up with her.
And Leah Delaria, who's amazing, who was on our show 2 weeks ago, was doing a show at Joe's Pub. Mm-hmm. The show is called I Can See Your House From Here. I love that. That's like Sarah Palin, I Can See Russia From Here. Or like, is Leah Delaria looking through my window? I've been paranoid ever since. If she can see my house. But she was truly
absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, she's hysterical. And a lot of people don't know. Some do. Proficient in jazz.
Yeah, she's a hell of a singer.
A hell of a singer. And this was the first time I ever heard her do the blues.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. The blues is not easy. I just loved her. And wasn't it the perfect way to top off Easter?
Absolutely. Absolutely. With some filth and
right.
foul mouth.
She said the F-bomb any number of times. She said the C word too. And she advertised the show as an Easter show and family friendly. And there was people that brought those two little boys. No, they were cool parents.
Oh,
you could tell.
Yeah.
But those two little boys sitting there, and there were a lot of F-bombs in this show.
Oh, yeah.
The kids had a great time. Who needs an Easter egg hunt when you've got Leah Delaria?
And she came out dressed as the Easter Bunny, which in itself was worth the ticket price.
No, it was absolutely incredible. And then you ran into someone you knew from Saturday Night Live. Rachel.
Rachel Dresch. Yes,
yeah, Rachel Dresch was there.
She was in the audience. Yeah. So,
there were a lot of people that were in the audience to support Leah. She is just absolutely amazing. So,
then Monday night,
yes.
I went to a birthday party in the East Village, here in the East Village, for a friend of mine, Louis Chaim Goldstein.
L'Chaim.
No, Chaim. Chaim.
Yeah.
It was his 82nd birthday.
God bless him.
And he was, I think, an assemblyman in Albany many years ago. And so there was a lot of there was somebody from the mayor's office and somebody from the Bronx Borough President's office. And it was nice to see all of them as well. So it was very reunion.
The reason I said L'Chaim is that is spelled the same way when you talk. Right, yeah. So what a blessing to have a name like that.
Yeah.
Everybody was going L'Chaim, the whole, I'm sure
and he was just going, what?
And he was going, what? I can't hear. How old was he again?
82.
God
82
bless.
And kicking. He's just
no, listen, turning it out. You know, why not? That's what it's all about. Well, in keeping with having a just fabulous, light, sparkle and brightness all around us today. We have the absolute perfect guest, and I wanted to have him on, and he'll be talking about this. He has an amazing show coming up tomorrow on 47 Great Jones Street from 6 to 8, but not telling you his name yet. We'll talk about that show. He has another one, I think, coming up on he's got a bunch of shows coming up, and why not? Okay. This transmedia artist encompasses both visual and performance art in a celebration of sparkles, glimmers, and flickers. I love the word flicker.
Yes.
He creates glamour out of chaos. It's the one and only Chris Tanner.
Hello.
Glamour and chaos. I just felt, you know what that was like for me,
Squeeze
the
in.
buzzword about you. And you know what? He celebrates beauty. You
Oh,
do
thank you.
everything you touch, you make beautiful.
Oh my God. Well, you guys are so beautiful and so much fun.
God, thank you.
Yeah. Actually, when you talked about Jimi Hendrix, my brother took me to see Jimi Hendrix
Oh my
you're
God.
kidding.
How
as a
cool.
kid. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
How
You were a
cool.
kid in California. You
Yeah,
went to
I was
see him,
in, yeah. He actually humped the guitar and played the Star Spangled Banner.
How old were you?
Yes.
How do you do that?
How old were you when
Like
you saw?
12 or something?
I'm sure that
And-
was like your formative years. You
Oh,
remember
it
Jimi
was
Hendrix
so-
humping
so
the
incredible.
guitar?
Wow, that would be an
That
experience.
was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like so
Uh-huh.
when you had sex with people after you expected them to hump the guitar and sing
Yeah,
the Star
yeah,
Spangled Banner.
Expect
Yeah.
the Star Spangled Banner to play.
Yeah, or the guitar to come out from under the bed.
Yeah, there you go. You know, it really set the bar high for you, Chris. Well, welcome to the show. Really,
Thank you. So
really
nice to
great
be here.
having
So nice to be here.
So this is like so exciting. Your show that you're having tomorrow.
I'm very excited. It's my first solo
It is.
exhibition in New York
Uh-huh.
for 6 years.
Wow.
I mean, my
Wow.
God. I had a show in Palm Beach and a couple shows
Right.
in Provincetown recently, but this will be my first one in New York. So
Oh,
so
nice.
excited to be here
This
and
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
this is absolutely great. So, it's from 6 to 8 tomorrow, 47
Yes,
Great Jones.
At La Mama Galleria.
La Mama Galleria.
Galleria.
Yeah.
Which has
Yeah.
been my home since
That's a great-
'79. I've been
Wow.
performing at La Mama with John Vaccaro, who was
Yeah.
a nightclub in '79, and Ellen Stewart is my other mother, and
Yeah.
so I feel it's so great to be there again.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, welcome back to La Mama.
Yes.
We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
to
really do.
cover.
So 1979, you
Yes,
came here
I
from.
did.
Wow, it was
from-
a different New York City then.
Oh yeah, I graduated from college, Cal Arts,
Cal
and my
Arts,
mother
yeah.
gave me the URL pass, and so
You
I went
remember
to-
everyone
yeah,
used to have a
and
URL pass.
so I went to like many countries, and then I
Stop.
ended up in Greece, in Mykonos, and
Oh my
fell
God.
in love with a man. We were going to spend our lives together. He said, "Come to New York City and live with me." And I said, "Okay." And so we did. We broke up in 2 weeks.
Oh goodness! But
You
hey,
were-
at least got to hear.
You were young.
Yeah,
You
and
were
but
young. You didn't
but I
know,
love. I mean,
right.
you know, it was fabulous because it got me here.
But
Yeah.
that's a
I've never
romantic
left.
way of getting
It
here.
is by way of Greece,
Oh
right?
yeah, and I lived in many places. Right at the beginning, I lived in an alcove in Brooklyn from a waiter. I worked at I can think it was called the Horn of Plenty, but I'm not sure.
In
on
Brooklyn?
Charles Street. No,
No,
here in and like I remember I got one time. I mean, just terrible busboy waiter. I was holding a big
Just-
tray of dishes, and somebody said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, what? Oh, yeah," and I kept walking and hit many trays of glasses. So the glasses just fell down, and I immediately I got fired. But then I got
but so your art was born.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
All that-
Glimmer,
all
light,
that-
all
yeah.
that great chaos happens.
so then I got a job. I was singing telegrams here
Oh,
in
how
New York,
fun!
and my manager's name, the woman, her name was Betty Davis.
Stop.
Crazy, and her daughter was Penny Rockwell, who we became best friends, and she's the mother of Sam Rockwell, and
Oh, okay.
the movie star. And so me and Penny started doing plays, and we had this group called Joan Crawford's Children.
Stop.
We did a play called Sky Rape that Sam was also in when he was 11. And we just kept doing plays, and I kept singing telegrams, and I sang to Andy
Just you were
Warhol.
evolving. You were
yeah,
So
I
you
was-
sang to Andy Warhol. What was that like?
Well, it was crazy.
First of all,
I
how were
got
you
there.
dressed when you
Well,
came in?
I wore a
Did
singing
you know-
telegram
did you
outfit.
know that that's
oh
who
yeah,
you-
you know,
you know that
you had a little
Okay.
thing in the corner who you were doing what I was doing Beethoven's birthday, and so I was singing to Andy Warhol, and I came in, and there was stewardesses hanging out of the apartment on United Nations Plaza, and people in suits. There was Mia Farrow, Woody Allen, Lauren Bacall, Lauren Hutton,
Oh my
and all the other
God.
Laurens, and they said go in the middle of the spiral staircase and sing to Andy. So I started going up. Oh, there's Woody. Oh, there's Lauren. Oh, there's. And you're supposed to start really low on the Beethoven's birthday. Hip hip hooray! It's your birthday. And I was going, oh, hip hip hooray! It's your birthday.
Well, you had to be starstruck.
And then
I came from there.
And then I came out with this hideous, horrendous, embarrassing, blood-curdling note where everybody's face went like this. And then Andy was bored through that the whole time.
I was going to ask you, what was his expression?
But then he became filled with joy.
Oh, that's so cool.
In my humiliation.
Well, that's what it took. You know, that's what it took.
And so I just had flop sweat instantly. Went down the spiral.
You went down the spiral.
And
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
So did you just sing and leave?
Oh, of course. Like singing telegrams, you're a star for 1 minute, and then you're worse than like the house cleaner.
Yeah.
Which I was doing also.
Yeah, you were. It's interesting that Chris brought up the singing telegrams. Did you ever do that?
No.
Okay, I had every horrific job. That was the only one I didn't have. But I had ones that were really close to it, because these were the things that we did to survive.
Right.
You were right. You were like lower than dirt by the time you were out.
Oh yeah, and they were saying, it's time for you to leave. Yeah. As you're eating one of the shrimps, the big shrimps,
I was impersonating Liza Minnelli with a big Liza head on, and they put the music on New York, and then I would have to walk around the room, but you couldn't see my face because I had a big Liza head on.
Oh, wow.
I just remember older gentlemen saying, "Liza, come sit on my lap."
Oh,
but these are the things that we did to pay the bills.
Yeah, I played Liza too.
Of course,
with Karen Finley, we did.
You did it with Karen Finley.
Well, we did the 9/11, her 9/11 show called Make Love. And we were all it was all about 9/11.
Wow.
So it was right when David Guest was bringing Liza back, putting her in a cage and not letting her eat or drink. And so she was fabulous. I mean, she was fabulous in that show. But so we all dressed. Karen thought, wow, Liza is like a soldier. So let's all wear Liza for our soldier outfit for 9/11. So we did, and Lance Cruz, who is our pianist, who's passed away now, but I was the main singer. And then we had Liza's, a lot of Liza's stand around the stage, like Taylor Mack, Flawless Sabrina, Brandon Olsen, also meant all these, like all of our friends.
They were all Liza.
They were all dressed as Liza. And then
brilliant.
Me and Lance and Karen would I sang all the songs, and Karen, was Karen. And Lance played the piano, and we traveled the country. Lance Cruz.
Oh, Cruz.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us. He's fabulous.
What incredible memories.
Yes,
Chris,
man, Okay, enough about that.
No, but but this is like the history. I mean, you have definitely put your time in. You've evolved, and you've stayed the course, which is look at all the people we're talking about.
And also, all of those were just joyful times.
Thank you.
I mean, they were not necessarily easy times.
No,
but looking back, I can see you smiling and the feeling.
No,
it was AIDS.
It was like it was the whole. Right. I mean, everybody was dying. I mean,
we didn't see that coming. It came out of freaking left field.
20-year-old people become 80-year-old people in 2 weeks.
Overnight.
It was crazy. So I mean, you just have to keep happy and enjoy.
How did you keep happy those
times? I love work. I love work. I love making my art. I love performing. And it's the work. It's the work. And gathering yourself around yourself and
I love that. I've never heard anyone say that. Gathering yourself around yourself. Yeah. That is a good mantra to go with.
My mentor, her name was Josephine Butler, and she taught Greta Garbo to dance. The Bouvier girls, Cecil Beaton, Diana Vreeland, everyone. And she said, she would say, gather yourself around yourself and be happy.
Oh my
God! She said, put an imaginary brooch in the center of your chest. And make sure that everyone in the room can see it sparkle. And if you must go like this, go like this.
I love the
Always
imaginary
leave,
brooch.
always,
is
Yes.
always
great.
leave your heart space open.
Well, yeah, like
With
like,
a brooch
don't-
on it.
Yeah, like open, like sit up,
Yes,
Yeah.
sit up,
absolutely.
present your brooch. And then if I would be slouching, say, present your brooch.
Ah.
So here we are today presenting our brooches.
Well,
Yes.
you guys have some fabulous brooches. Mine is a
Like-
skull.
That's a total brooch.
Right. It's a
Present
total,
that
it's a
skull.
total brooch. And what she's saying, the brooch is in here and it goes to here, right? You just carry
Yes,
it with
but
you
also
at all
you're-
times.
But also sit up.
Lifting, you're
Mhm.
lifted up.
You lift up your
Right.
spine.
You lift
Mhm.
up your energy and you lift up anyone who's looking at you.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. So I've interviewed you before. I thought it was very interesting talking about the pandemic, and I knew your mother was failing at that time and you took off for California. You were out there for a very long
Oh
time.
yeah. My mother was fantastic.
Sally.
Yeah, my mother was Sally Tanner. She wrote the Lemon Law. If you get a car and it doesn't work, you get your money back. Because of
She
her.
wrote the Lemon Law.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, she was
She
ahead of her
made the
time.
Women's Caucus with Maxine Waters and
Wow.
Nancy Pelosi, and she was just a tough, incredible Amazon.
Loving mom who
Oh,
was
and
behind
so-
you 150%.
So loving. I mean, she had me in a car. I was born in the
You
Buick.
were born in the
born in a
Buick?
Buick, and I was 3 pounds. And
Oh
Wait,
my
hold
goodness.
on.
My-
You were a tiny baby. Were
yeah,
you
my
pre-med?
father, yeah, it was 3 months.
What
premature.
what did she go into labor and was on her
Yeah,
way to
she
the
said
hospital?
no. She
or-
said, Pat, to my father, I'm having the baby. And
so
he
they were
goes,
like on
no,
the-
you're not.
they were driving
He said
somewhere?
no, they were in the house. And
3
she-
months
Oh,
early,
and
Tim.
so-
3
so
months.
He said, no, you're not. He had just bought a black, a black Buick
Oh,
with
the
a red leather
upholstery.
interior.
Oh,
And so, he was a real control freak. And he said, no, you're not. And she said, yes, I am. And so our neighbor, Bob Robbins, he used to make his own beer in his garage, and he wore a patch on his eye. I mean, he
I
was like
love
a
it.
pirate. He jumped in the back seat in his underwear and helped me come out.
That
And
is quite a
and then-
story.
and
In the
then-
dad's new Buick. In
Yeah,
the brand new
in the,
Buick.
so-
with the red
so-
upholstery.
So my mom called while my dad was freaking out, but called her sister and said, call the doctor. I'm going to have it. And so the doctor was waiting for the baby. And so I came out. The doctor grabbed me in the afterbirth, ran, and my father ran after. And my mother was just
Oh!
in the car.
She's still sitting in the
She had
car.
to crawl out of the car and crawl into the
This
hospital.
is such a bad story. It's so funny.
I know.
Everybody left your mother.
I know. And she was tough. She was
Yeah,
so
she was.
tough.
She was
Yeah,
really
and
ahead of her time.
so
So she
got,
literally got herself out of the car and wobbled
Yeah,
into the house.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
and my father was a nightmare. He was obsessed with his bald head. He had toupee shave.
Mhm.
And like when I was like 7, I was walking through to the living room from my bedroom, and I passed the bathroom, and there was my father, and he was drying his head off, and I had never seen his penis, and so I went, oh, and he went, oh, and I went, oh.
a double
And so he said,
trauma.
get the fuck out
God.
of here. And so I knew that penises and bald heads were shameful. So
Right.
Right,
And there is a
exactly.
similarity between the head of a penis and a bald head. It's very similar.
Oh yeah, both shameful.
Look at
No.
But my God, we went from your mother giving birth in the back of the Buick now to we're on penises. I know
Yeah.
we just run
Well,
the gamut.
Penis
Well,
here.
the reason
bald
I brought,
head.
the reason I brought, I mean, I sort of look like a penis right now.
Yeah.
I don't have any beard, because I usually have a beard or a mustache. I'm
Yeah, you're
looking at
clean
myself.
shaven.
It's so weird. I trade for everything, and I traded this fabulous doctor, Dina. She's incredible dermatologist, for one of those treatments, on your face. It's called micro needling.
Micro
micro-
needling.
yeah, and so-
Yeah.
So I had that. She said,
Gorgeous.
you must get that. You must take off your beard for that. And so I took my beard off so she could do the thing. But now I'm doing all these drag videos.
Yeah.
Who knew I would be a drag queen again?
I have to say they are hilarious.
Yes.
It's you had like something like 250,000 people.
I
on,
had,
on Instagram.
yeah, 130,000 likes, but like almost 2 million on one.
It was.
on
I mean,
one,
on one
yeah.
video.
But now, but so what it is, I trade. Like I trade for
Mhm.
I've traded here. I trade everywhere for jewelry, for clothes,
Mhm.
for everything, for training, for working out,
I love
everything.
it.
And so I traded with Giuliano, and here is his because I'm gonna give him a shout out.
And this is the
It's-
person that does your videos,
Yeah,
right?
GSS Media Agency. That's GSS Media Agency at gmail.com.
Okay.
And he's so fantastic, and he's been my Instagram guy, and because of him I've reached so many people.
Mhm.
I
And
love
it's
it.
like, and so it's been great because I'm just trying to survive and sell
Listen,
something.
girl, we all are.
When did that start
Yeah.
with him? Was
It
that
just
while you
started-
were in California over
No,
the pandemic,
it's-
or just
well,
recent?
No, it started a year ago.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But just in this last, it takes a while.
Mhm,
So
absolutely.
instead of getting like 40 likes, now I get 25,000.
But the
likes.
drag,
Uh-huh.
this new branding of drag, you weren't doing this before because you were doing
No,
right. When
no.
did this come? This is brilliant, by the
Well,
way.
They're
They're funny, Tim. They're so
I can't.
funny.
No, they're only a minute long, and
Mhm.
they're all my stories from my life.
Wow.
And it just sort of started. It just came out of nowhere.
I'm gonna pull one up. Hold
Yeah.
on, and I can hold it up to the camera because they're funny as anything. But I tell you, everyone is riveted by them.
Yeah, I mean,
When did you decide to do this? What gave
well,
you the
what
inspiration?
happened was, I had this show, and we've been promoting. It's called Glittering Monsters,
Mhm.
and it's sort of all about dragons.
Mm.
And oh yeah, so, yeah, it's so crazy. And here I'm showing my painting and talking about the cool.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I mean, artists, I've seen artists do it like that.
Beautiful, cool breeze coming in and blowing.
It's ridiculous.
I know, but you know
It's
what?
fabulous.
They're fabulous, and they totally work.
Yeah.
I mean, and it shows your process, but also you're a performance artist. You're now
I am.
incorporating with because I don't ever remember the two of them being together
No,
as
it's really-
much like now.
It's really great.
It's brilliant.
to do
Yeah.
that together.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
brilliant.
That's
Because
my
drag
life.
has become such a phenomenon
I mean,
here
when
in
we did
in
it,
this
like,
country.
I was doing drag forever. and
Right.
Right.
You were one of the trailblazers.
I did.
Absolutely.
We did a play. Did you ever see The Honeymoon Killers, starring Shirley Stoller and
No.
Tony Lo
The
Bianco?
honeymoon
Oh,
killers.
Shirley Stoller. She played the big woman on Pee-wee's Playhouse. Or
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know that. Yeah,
and
totally.
she was incredible. But she was like a very like a rotund nurse, but beautiful. And she met this sleazy gigolo, and it was a story. But anyway, my great doctor Brian Saltzman, who owns the Robert Restaurant in the Museum of Art and Design, where one of my huge paintings are. He was my part. His name is Dr. Brian Saltzman. He was with the Patient Zero. He was
wow.
their doctor,
Uh-huh.
and so he was my
wow.
my partner's doctor, Steve Lott. And so when Brian was looking at Steve's X-rays, I would just say, "Well, could you look at my slides too?" Yeah. So he started buying my slides. I'm just a hooker. I'm a hooker with my art.
No, I
I
just
mean,
totally
you
love
have to-
that. Right.
You have to survive.
Right.
And so okay, now where was I?
We were talking about
so-
Dr. Saltzman,
yeah,
and we were
show-
talking
the
about
show with
Oh
PBS.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he brought to that show. He brought Cyndi Lauper, and so Cyndi Lauper had me curate her drag. Hey now, girls just want to have fun.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
Her drag
amazing.
section.
Amazing.
So that's how I started. And I've worked with her a few times, and she's been
Uh-huh.
a collector, and it's been great. And then I did all my plays at La Mama and the Kitchen, and
Mhm.
here and many places with drag, and then it just sort of evolved. I got a handlebar mustache, and I started working with New Stage Theater, and I was the big, the big guy. And so, but then all of a sudden, you never know where life is going to take you.
No,
and,
you don't.
Right.
He just said, Giuliano, my Instagram guy, said, "Well, let's, tell the story. Why are you doing a show about dragons?" And so I said, "Well, I was playing Stevie Nicks I was not playing. I miss Stevie Nicks.
Mhm.
I was more of a Joni Mitchell person. So a friend of mine, David Leslie, who's sort of my best friend, he was the Evil Knievel of the East Village.
Yeah.
And he curated that kitchen show. It was
Okay.
called Under the Kerosene Moon. Oh God, now where do I go?
Oh, so we were talking about you
wait,
were a Joni Mitchell person,
Oh
not
yeah,
a Stevie
no,
Nicks one.
so David Leslie had me sing Stevie Nicks Landslide. So I learned it with this genius 13-year-old. Her name is Hartman.
Something
Camille
Hartman. Camille Hartman.
She's, I don't think I have it right, but she's fantastic.
So you sang
She's
Landslide.
Two Boots' daughter, and I sang it with an orchestra at St. Mark's Church, and this radical fairy came up to me and said, "Oh, we have something for you because you're a witch," because they thought Odetta Hartman is her name. She's a fabulous violinist. Because you're a witch, so we have something. And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Acid." So I said, and it was a beautiful, radical fairy boy, and with a sort of stinky, because they always wear polyester. Those
They kind of
like a little stinky, but just gorgeous.
But they're beautiful.
I said, please come, whatever you have. And he said, well, it's acid. I said, well, I can't do that alone, so you have to come to my house. And so we took the acid.
There's always a trade-off, isn't there,
no,
Chris?
well,
right,
I'm just,
right.
no, I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
So we took the acid, and then and then my paintings, all my crazy paintings,
I can
started spinning around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Going all crazy.
Electric.
And then I saw
Yeah.
myself from an aerial view, and I was wearing a huge Renaissance, dress gown with a ruff and a huge dragon tail coming out, and then I had a huge ruff, and I had stalagmites coming out of my face, sort of like Judi Dench. And I said, "Oh, I can deal with this. I can deal with this." And but I knew that I was a dragon and that I was the queen of hell.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I still might be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that
is such an amazing story and the inspiration behind this show.
So I did that Instagram story.
Yeah.
And for some reason it hit the whatever it is, algorithm or
the algorithm.
Algorithm. How do you say it? Let's all say it.
Algorithm.
Yeah. And so
that would be a good drag name.
Algorithm.
Oh hi, here's Algorithm.
Algorithm.
So
it hit the right algorithm on Instagram.
So I got all
you
the
exploded.
Witches. Yeah.
Wait, all these witches are following you now?
Witches and these beautiful exotic, a lot of women and people, or dragon people, or now then it's gone over. I mean, now it's all over the place, but that's who first started. And so it's just been a joy telling my stories.
Yeah.
I love telling my story. I'm a big blabbermouth, and I did my football head here. It was called football head because I haven't got a big football head.
Yeah.
But it was my sexual awakening here at Pangea. And,
how was Pangea your sexual awakening?
Pangea had my show called
Football. Okay.
Which was a one-man show about my sexual awakening. And so I shared some of those stories on Instagram, but I've had to go like, what do you call it? You have to do all these things.
Hashtag.
No, you have to say, "Oh, I'm not a pervert. I'm not a drug addict."
Oh yeah, right. I'm not right. Yeah.
What is the disclaimer?
Yeah, the disclaimer.
Yeah.
These belong to somebody else.
Disclaiming, because here's another thing. I don't know if I can say this, but I'm
you should keep going, Chris.
So, because of all the Instagram, so the cooking the network called me.
Oh
now
my God.
They want me to be on Worst Cooks of New York.
Oh.
And so they've had to disclaim me all over because I'm going to go to England and do that TV show.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At the end of
how exciting.
April, even before my show's over.
How totally exciting. So really, like, look at this trajectory, you know, and that you ended up on the Worst Cooks in America, but you're doing it in England.
But
you're not doing it here.
It's all
life is grand.
Crazy, but it's
crazy.
a wonderful thing. We just have to enjoy every
absolutely.
moment.
Chris, since I've known you, I met you through Sweetie. Was the person, right? You are just so joyful about everything. How
she had the best club in New York. It was at Parkside Lounge.
Oh, Parkside Lounge
and
was
it was
great.
called
Yeah,
Cheese
Cheese
Whiz.
Whiz. Cheese Whiz, I remember
Oh,
it.
it was the best.
Yeah,
night
I
of
wasn't
the-
into the Lower East Side then, and I would go down there because, sweetie, we were really best friends,
she was
and that's
so
how I
magnificent.
met you. How do you maintain your joy? You know what? A lot of people get caught up in the garbage that can happen because that's life, right? It's not a 100% bed of roses. How do you? Is it the fact that you are so fluid that you just go with it? Like when you during the pandemic, your mother was failing. You went out to California. I remember that, and you're walking along the beach picking
Oh,
up
yeah.
driftwood.
Yes.
Right, which is so driftwood is gorgeous, but it's the opposite of everything
sort
you
of-
are.
It's sort of like skeletons.
It
of-
is. It's
Mhm.
like
like
bone or
skeletons of the-
skeleton or
Right, of
the earth.
trees. Yeah.
And
Right.
of
Yeah.
of the coastline.
Right.
And so I started gathering it. They're so beautiful. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the line and depth and the in and out and just gorgeous. And so I started collecting with my friend Mary there with her dog, and we would just go down this mountain, gorgeous mountainside with wildflowers and vast views of the coastline, and we'd gather all this driftwood, and then I'd take it home and my mother, and we'd have discussions. My mother'd say, "Oh no, but this one's really good. Oh
Right,
no,
that-
this
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Pick and
amassed
choose your
huge
driftwood. Yeah.
amounts of driftwood while I was taking care of my mother and my brother. He was failing too,
Oh, goodness.
and so that's a whole other story.
But that would be so, I guess the point that's so overwhelming for people, so overwhelming, the mother and the brother, and yet you manage to
I wonder if I
find
can say this.
beauty.
Can I say this?
You
Yeah,
can
I'm
say
saying
whatever
whatever
you
you
want.
So my mother was, this fabulous, incredible, amazing assemblywoman.
Right.
She represented she's
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
chair of clean air, clean water in
Wow.
California.
She was
And my
amazing.
brother was a drug lord.
Wow.
I don't know if I was allowed to
No,
say
you
that,
totally,
but so
yeah.
it was this
Absolutely.
great.
So there's a whole dichotomy.
She was
Right.
he was the star of the overworld. He was the star of the underworld.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They were both,
Right.
They
Right.
were both ending up like sort of finishing out at the same time.
And there you
Wow.
were.
And so
Yeah,
Side
right.
by
Yeah,
side.
and so it was like this incredible journey. And so then, so I did all the driftwood. I UPS'd it all home and to New York and
Mhm.
started this work on the driftwood.
Mhm.
And a few years back, I was at one of my shows in Chelsea, and these two, one very old woman and then one middle-aged woman, were talking about my art, and they said, "Look, they're beautiful paintings, but they do nothing."
Oh.
They
No.
I said, but my mother, Sally, said, "Never burn a bridge.
Right.
You may need their vote,"
Uh-huh.
because she was
Right.
a
Right,
huge
right.
She
Democrat.
knew it.
And
Yeah.
she worked with the Republicans because that's the
Yeah.
only, and she got so
Yeah.
much done
Right.
because
What a
you know,
brilliant
yeah,
woman.
she worked. So okay, now I'm talking so fast I can't think of now. Where was I?
So we were talking
Driftwood.
about
yeah,
the
the drift-
driftwood and
So-
Sally.
So I
and
come home.
What you do with the
so I
driftwood?
do the
You
I-
ship it back.
yeah, and these women at the
Oh,
at
the
the
women.
art show,
Yes. at the
Yeah.
art
they
show.
said they do nothing. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if my paintings could do something, actually do something? So minerals can heal you.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
minerals from the
Oh yeah,
earth.
of course.
So
People
I
use it for
thought-
healing.
So I started using amethyst and quartz and mica and
Mhm.
turquoise and coral
Yeah.
all in my sculptures.
Oh,
So these-
interesting.
So they can, and beads and crystal and
So
glitter
they
and
can do
so they
something.
can dazzle you and heal you. at
But
the
the
same time.
important thing where I want to pick up this thread with you, because we have threads to pick up
Okay,
with you.
let's pick up the thread.
The driftwood.
Yeah.
Chris put these beautiful elements on the driftwood. Who would think to do that?
Yeah, so they're all encrusted. So they're these
Encrusted,
sculptures
gorgeous.
of minerals.
Right.
And so that's the show. And they sort of look like dragons.
They do, and they're
they-
twisted,
they're twisted,
and yeah.
and they sort of have heads and things. And so so I was going to make some dragon paintings, but even Karen Finley said, "Oh, well, Chris, you're not really that sort of artist. You're an abstract artist.
You're not a
or-
dragon artist.
No, you're a figurative, really. I mean, I do figures, but this is an abstract show, And so, but they are dragons already. They're
Right.
they are dragons.
You created dragons
so,
in this medium, is what you did.
Yeah, so I didn't really have to do a dragon paint. So I don't know why.
But it evolved into what it needed to be,
Yeah.
which is the story of your life. You
That's
just
right.
evolve
You
into
just-
whatever. Right.
You just
There's
follow
so
it.
much
You just,
I can learn
But
from
it
you.
sounds like
whatever.
even in her last days, your mother was very supportive of you.
Oh, Sally was-
always
yeah.
supportive.
Uh-huh.
When I went to San Francisco, because I'm from this horrible little town.
Well, that's what I
called
was going to ask.
Duarte.
Where are you from?
Duarte, California. But it's really
Duarte.
Duarte, like even
Duarte.
Duarte, Perón or whatever. But it was just Duarte, and it was like a white trash town in hell, by Pasadena.
That says it.
Oh,
And
by
I couldn't-
Pasadena. Okay,
I
so
couldn't
outside
wait to
LA.
get, it was
Right.
racist and white trash, and it was just, there was no place for me. And my
Wow.
mother knew it, so she got me to. Is that mine?
yours?
Oh, I'll get me.
Hello.
Oh, or is that mine?
Hello.
No, I think I don't know where.
That's
it is.
Somebody's
mine.
calling. It's definitely not mine. I don't have a ring like
Oh
that.
God, I think it's mine. It's somewhere.
Well, please invite them on. We can talk to them on the show. We'll put them on as a guest.
Oh, it's
Stephen
Stephen
McCauley.
McCauley.
Hi,
It's
Steve.
Stephen McCauley.
Hi, Steve.
You're on TV.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, he just wrote the book. What is it called? Call me when you only call when you're in trouble. Call it. You only call when you're in trouble.
Is the book
He
out?
wrote. Yes, the book is out. How do we
Fabulous.
turn it up? Can
Wait,
you say hi,
yeah,
Steve?
Just
Speaker,
turn
just
up
one
the
second.
sound. Yeah.
Steve,
Hold
say
on.
hi.
Say hi to everyone
What's
who's
up?
watching the
Oh,
show.
okay.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, it's not.
Just a second. The speaker.
Oh, the
Okay,
speaker.
just go to
There you
speaker.
go.
Say-
Now say hello.
Say hi, Steve.
Hi, everyone.
Well,
Hey.
Steve, it's so nice that you joined us. We're interviewing Christopher Tanner
And
today.
it's live
and-
on TV.
And we're live, and it was nice. I told him pick up the phone. I didn't
And
recognize the name.
what's the book's name again, Steve?
You only call when you're in trouble.
You only call when.
Wow.
And he
That's
wrote
so true.
"Object of My Affection" with Jennifer Aniston. That movie.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you're
Yeah,
kidding.
he's
That's-
a great, incredible.
well,
writer.
we would love to have you on as a guest too.
Absolutely.
So, Tim and I would love to reach out to you. Where are you located?
I am in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Fabulous. We'll stream you. We have Chris here live with us, but we can stream you. I would love to hear about the book because I have to tell you, I find the title completely intriguing and something we can all relate to, right?
Yes,
You all-
yes, and it's with the it's me too.
Obviously, I'm calling Chris because I'm in trouble.
Which just exactly proves the point.
And hey, I want to shout while you're on the thing on the TV. His partner is Sebastian Stewart, who
Stuart
was
is
my
great.
best friend, and we did all these plays
Oh, you're
in
kidding.
the
How
East
very
Village,
cool.
Mhm.
at La Mama Theater for the New City and everything. But anyway, okay, well, I love you, Stephen.
Have a great show.
Okay.
Stephen,
Okay.
yeah, we'll be reaching out to you. We'll get your contact information.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was
funny.
fabulous.
Yeah,
Live
I mean,
show.
yeah.
No, this is what I love about Chris Tanner. It's this.
Well,
Yeah.
It's like you just can't
He's
plan
a
it. It's
fantastic.
but of course, he's
know,
going to call it. He's
he's
great.
he's a genius writer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
but
we'd
anyway.
love to have him on.
So okay. So I guess we were talking about. Well, you tell me. What did we?
We were talking about Sally. We were talking about
Oh,
where
your
you
mother-
grew
where-
up in hell.
Duarte.
Oh, Duarte.
Duarte,
Okay.
it was
Okay,
hell.
so-
It was like
so
white
yeah,
trash hell.
so she got me to go to art school in San Francisco. Where
Your
I,
mother?
yeah, where
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
she pushed me, and so
Wow.
I went to art school and I blew neon.
Be-
Blue neon. You take two you
Oh,
your
yes,
hands and
uh-huh.
you
Yeah.
roll the glass tubing
Uh-huh.
over a flame and you blow.
Oh yeah,
There's a
glass.
physical
Yeah.
proof. And you keep it so
Yeah.
it doesn't just drip, and
Uh-huh.
then you have like a few seconds to turn it, and then you put it down and you take an asbestos paddle, which of course you don't do anymore.
Oh,
Then to
So you've been exposed to asbestos
well
in
early,
the
like
day.
yeah, just for a while, just
Just
for
a little
year.
asbestos.
Just a little asbestos. Actually,
So
my
what does
mother
that
my
do?
mother was the first person to take the asbestos out of the
Oh,
house.
wow.
the house.
Amazing,
But
amazing person.
Anyway, so I was blowing neon in San Francisco, and I got in, and I was living at this Catholic school for women's church called
of course
it
you
was
are.
called Lone Mountain College, this beautiful church, and they were doing a production of Anything Goes, and so I got involved in that, and I played Ching and the Chinese gambler,
Yeah.
and Ling I fell in love with, and so that was my first gay relationship, Ching and Ling, and and so
Ching-a-ling.
then I decided I love this, and I called Sally. I said, Mom, I'm in art school and everything, and I got a scholarship to go, but I said, Mom, I love singing and tap dancing. I want to be an actor. So she said, oh well, okay. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Mom said okay to. She was
To
like
anything.
the wind beneath your
because
wings.
how did you? What I'm curious about is backing up. Obviously, she saw your artistic abilities.
Oh, always.
So
always.
what and was encouraging of them. So what had you like? What is one of your earlier memories of creating something?
Oh well, I used to draw pictures. Who is the police woman?
Angie Dickinson?
No, it was an earlier TV. She had a little mole. Oh yeah, she's in Funny Girl too.
With the mole.
With the mole.
Tim, can you?
What's her name?
What was the show?
Anyway,
Do you remember
but
the
it was,
show?
she played
at
a policewoman,
all?
and she
Okay. And it,
Tyne Daly?
no, she was, no, she was very glamorous. Anyway, I used
she
to.
was glamorous.
She was
That's fine,
she was an inspiration, and so when I was like 8 and 10, I would just draw blonde women smoking cigarettes with big breasts, with cleavage and diamond necklaces. So that was my first like drawings, and big eyed.
You were obsessed with
busty,
it, yeah.
Yeah, women with
Beauty marks.
cigarettes,
Well,
beauty
but
marks.
your mother noticed that because you
Yeah,
had an affinity for
because
beauty.
she was a painter too, and
Wow.
yeah,
So
and-
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and so she knew that I was an artist, and that was always
She saw
my
the
go-to.
sign.
Yeah, because I was like I had this crazy looking head, and I had a walleye, walked on my toes, so I was like a sort of an outsider.
So you were like physically different too.
Yeah, and
right.
so but art was my thing.
Yes.
Where I could really excel,
Right.
and so she was always there, always
Oh, I
there,
love
till the bitter end.
And your dad wasn't.
that. So now what
No,
about
your
what
dad
about
was
horrible.
so
that
now
was-
what about going through school? You were a very creative mind, and
Oh yeah,
how
I
was
mean,
school and the other kids?
Yeah.
And
they weren't great. It was horrible, and
Yeah.
I didn't really
course.
fit in ever. I finally, and I even
this is going to be a good one.
so so after Ching and Ling and ethnic go,
Yes.
Sorry.
I got
In San Francisco.
there in San Francisco. There was so I told my mom I want to go be an actor. So there was auditions for Cal Arts, and so I auditioned for Cal Arts, and this Russian director Sergei Chernish, he was auditioning, and so I forgot to say, so after Ching and Ling, and all of the
It all goes back to Ching and Ling, Tim. You noticed that, right? It was pivotal.
I loved the acting. There was an audition for a play.
Do you remember what it was?
It was called Us, the Rest of Us, and the part was Candy Darling.
Oh, Johnson!
And
Oh
so-
my God!
So after 6 callbacks, I got the part of Candy Darling.
Oh
How
my
fabulous.
God.
And that was my first drag part, was Candy Darling.
Oh,
and
but
so
to play Candy Darling.
and my first line was, "Excuse my appearance. At the moment, I'm dying."
Oh.
And it was like a fabulous monologue.
Uh-huh.
And so the play, so the character dies. I was at the Japan Center, and the whole stage sunk into the ground.
Wow.
And they wanted me to come back to save money as a chorus boy. So I came in, and I had a dance where I put this leg and this leg, and so I wasn't stretched out or whatever, and I got phlebitis. So I had to go to the hospital. I had
Okay,
blood clots.
wait. I just need to back it up a little. So you came back as a chorus boy to
Yeah,
No,
after
you mean
intermission.
later in the show?
No, after intermission, because
Oh,
my
right.
Candy-
That's
So
what
it's
that's what I
right
mean.
later in the show,
That's
right?
right.
By
Later in
Candy.
the show, you come back
Candy,
as
yeah,
another.
Okay.
Candy Darling was like a huge part.
Yeah,
But
but,
then,
you
to
came
save
back as the
money.
chorus
Right,
boy,
right.
Because I was
and
the
they had
chorus.
you using your legs.
And they
in a-
cut my hair like Liza Minnelli. They
Right.
shaved all the hair off my body.
But you got
and-
phlebitis from the way they had
From
you.
from like because you can't do that. You have to
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
you
to
have to
warm up.
warm up.
warm up and everything. And so so the mafia, where something was involved with the play, and
Yeah.
it closed open at night.
Okay.
And so
Close
so
the
I-
phlebitis.
I was on crutches,
Phlebitis.
and I went to the audition for Cal Arts with the crutches,
Oh.
with the shaved body, with the Liza
Oh
Minnelli
my
hair.
God.
And the director said, "Well, do you have a monologue?" I said, "Yes." "Excuse my appearance."
Appearance.
And he said, "Oh, you're fabulous. I'm also auditioning for Disney World
Oh,
for Kids of the Kingdom in Florida. Would you like to audition?" I said, "Oh, of course." And so he says, "Can you sing?" And I sang Never Never Land. He said, "Can you dance?" The crutches. I said,
right.
of course. And so I got the job to go to Florida and
With crutches.
yeah, no, the crutches were gone.
No, I
but-
meant you got that job.
Yeah, you,
with-
Yeah,
on
you had,
crutches.
yeah,
and
you got the job on
then when I
crutches.
got there, I found out all the other people they got their choreography in the mail. They learned the choreography
But
in the
you
mail.
didn't get
And that's it.
yours.
And I was horrible. I was the worst dancer, and so I was hated by all the people
God.
there too. And then I had this affair with this boy, the beautiful boy that was on the outskirts of Disney World, or the Carney rides.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Oh,
so
he
they
was
got
in a car.
broken
Yeah,
down
he
rides.
wasn't.
And
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
So I went to his house and just in the trailer, and the mother made spaghetti and mashed potatoes. And,
Yeah.
Start
And
just,
so-
you know, you're
so
in
anyway,
trouble.
so that was over Disney World. I went to Cal Arts my first day, and
So you did get into Cal
yeah,
Arts.
You got
I-
in. Yeah, you were
oh yeah,
accepted.
he
Yeah.
loved me. The guy loved me.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to my first day, and I go to my dormitory where I'm sharing with another guy. My mother says, "Listen, there's your boyfriend from Florida is here with all of his belongings. What do I do?" And I'm
At
like,
your mother's
I
house?
don't know, Mom. I can't. Yeah, she goes, "Well, he can't stay here, so he can spend the night. He's got to come to you." So he came to me at Cal
Oh.
Arts, and then so I'm waiting for him to come. My mother calls and says, "Chris, he's stolen all the family heirlooms," and so he comes, and I have to beat the shit out of him and take the,
Get your
And
Take
get
the
the heirlooms
and then I
back.
go into
This is
Cal
such
Arts.
an amazing
I go into
story.
Cal Arts, and I go, and the scene class, the whole school is there. Every class, 5 years of college are all
Right,
there.
Uh-huh.
And everybody can. It's first day, first minute of school, and so they say, "Does anybody want to perform?" And I go, "Well, okay, I will." And so at the end of Disney World, they have a little project where you have a talent show. So I made this whole talent where I play Candy Darling, and I turn and play Romeo. Then I turn.
Oh,
and
you
play
all of
Glass in
those
the Mouth.
characters.
Then I play
That's
Tom the
bananas.
Dragon.
Brilliant, right?
And
Brilliant.
so I didn't know anything about acting, and I was, but I was good. I had some talent and
Well, because it was
and
in
energy,
there.
and
Yeah.
and so after beating the white trash guy up, getting the family
Right.
heirlooms,
And now you're
I-
auditioning,
and I
doing all
run,
these roles.
and then no, I run into Cal Arts, and I say, "Okay, I'll perform," and I do it, and I wasn't perfect, I knew, but then the director of the theater school said, "Now this is called indicating. This is the worst kind of acting."
Oh!
And so my whole college education was ruined in the first minute of college.
But this is an amazing story because look at who you are.
Yeah, and
what
then
you
even
did.
at Cal Arts,
right.
my voice teacher said, the mentor,
Yeah,
you go into their office,
You know,
and the
Chris.
she said, "Chris, you will never play Romeo."
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
well, who the hell cares? I'll play
Right.
Juliet or the nurse, but I mean, like, so it was a different time. This was 76.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So,
But you know what? You kept going
but
no
then I
matter
came to
what.
New
You
York.
just,
And-
and then you came
And
to
the
New
boys,
York.
the boys were boys, and the girls were girls.
Right.
And the,
yeah, and
you
they
know,
didn't
there
really
was-
mix.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
at
exactly.
Disneyland, you couldn't be gay. At
Right,
Disney
Right.
World.
right,
And
right,
so, of course, they were all gay,
right.
but you couldn't
Right.
be gay. So it was
Right.
like,
Yeah,
it was
you're right
all
in the late
lying.
70s.
So I came to New York and I found my
Of
So,
course,
so you
your
came to
tribe.
New York, and yeah,
Found
you
my-
hit the
and
East
found your
Village, and you
found my
got
tribe,
like
found
Penny
Penny-
Arcade and
Penny Rockwell, and,
The Pen-
and then I met Penny Arcade
and
and
course.
Charles
And
Bush.
Charles
and-
Bush.
yeah.
I met
And
Charles Bush
Crystal.
right away.
You met Charles right away.
right
Kindred spirit.
Yeah, and like after started seeing his shows, at the Limbo Lounge.
Yeah, Limbo
Uh,
Lounge, right.
Yeah, met and then started doing my plays with Crystal and then La Mama
Yeah.
and then Ruth Malachek at Mabu Mines.
Now, did you write the shows?
Well, Sebastian, Steve, who you just
Oh,
called,
okay.
Yeah, right.
Steve's boyfriend was my partner Steve's best friend,
Okay.
and they wrote porn for a living
Okay.
I
for the
love it.
mob.
For
and
the mob.
uh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
no, the
And,
mob
for-
ran the
yeah,
porn
They-
industry.
yeah.
for those little
Yeah.
pocket books.
Yeah.
And so I will be reading from my Dead Lovers porno book on April 12th. Well, we're doing a fashion show starring Diego Montoya,
This
two-
is April
two-
12th. I
yeah,
want to write. And where will
two-
this be?
two Emmy award-winning Emmy person,
Uh-huh.
Diego Montoya, the fabulous Machine Dazzle,
I know
and then
Machines. Yeah.
Dusty Childers.
Wow.
They are the three fabulous fashion designers, and they are making gowns to showcase my driftwood jewelry
Oh my
that
God.
are my exhibition.
How
That
gorgeous.
is April 12th at La Mama Galleria,
Okay.
47 Great Jones. And so, I
And then
don't
what
know how
time is
that
that
whole
one?
story felt.
That's
felt
a
like.
But we always get all roads with you just seem to lead
Yeah,
somewhere.
somewhere.
So you just got to go with it, right?
Yeah.
So, what time is this one? 6 to 8 also, do we think?
Yeah, 6 to 8. And
Okay.
the reason why is that it was sort of a nod to Pasolini's movie Salo, which, is sort of a dreadful
Oh, yes.
movie, but you have to sort of be trapped in a theater to watch it. You
Yes.
can't watch it on TV. But there's these scenes of these fabulous courtesans of a certain age.
Yes.
And they're
of a
getting
certain
ready,
age, yeah.
and they're getting the makeup and the jewelry and the perfume and the gowns on. Then they proceed to descend the staircase while the piano is
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
playing.
getting more
And
and,
then
more.
they sit down and say, I remember the time when the sailor came in and blah 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 blah. And so
I love
that I've always sort of wanted to do that in a way.
Mhm.
And so I told Machine, because I love to have interaction in my exhibition because
Mhm.
it's like a big jewel box.
Exactly.
And
It is
so
like a big
why
jewel
not
box, yeah.
have some fun and have dance companies?
I love
and
that
have
they're
more.
doing this.
And so so they're going to do it, and they're going to wear like my driftwood, the small pieces of driftwood.
Which I saw, yeah.
I decided to make jewelry on.
Mhm.
So they're
Yeah.
even not that small, like they're like this big.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and-
they're not light either.
No,
They're
no,
not
no.
light.
What inspires you
Yeah.
or inspires
Um,
your art?
Well, light.
Uh-huh.
Light, glittering light. Like when you walk in front of something glittery, it moves and
Right.
it speaks to you.
Yeah.
It just keeps talking,
It moves
and
you.
it moves.
Yeah.
But it keeps going. It's
Yeah,
got a
there
light,
is motion.
and so I've always been attracted to light, like and color and light coming through color. Like I came when I was a little boy. I went into the bathroom. And there was all my mother's perfume bottles, and I said,
Oh, what a
God,
great visual.
so
yeah.
let me just pour them all out and put water in them, and then I could put food coloring in each one and have
Oh.
yellow, pink, blue, red, purple. And so I put
Brilliant.
them all on the windowsill, and I said, oh, and the lipsticks, let me unroll them all. And then I look at them, I'll put them all around the makeup and everything, and the smell and everything. And then I heard her coming, and so I smashed them to smithereens.
What did she say?
She was like, she couldn't, like,
Yeah,
all
probably
that-
Like,
nothing.
yeah.
who is this
Yeah,
child?
but then
Whose
she-
child is this?
it was all great. It was
Yeah.
all
Oh
great.
my God, I love that.
She was
That
so
she liked your
fantastic.
curiosity.
Yeah.
And, uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
They,
she
the
was-
fact that you were, my God, you were born out of the box, of course, out of the box in
Yeah.
the back
And she
seat,
encouraged
And
that.
3
she-
months
That's great.
early.
and she was
Special
too. I mean,
child.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
In the 50s.
You were definitely your mother's child.
Oh, she was so even her death. She sang like
Mm.
like 22 hours before she died.
She-
She sang
she
Wow.
did.
"Swing Low, Sweet Chariot."
You
and
had, you had
we
it up
may
on
never see
Facebook.
each other again. Yeah,
She
like
had
she,
it
and
up.
she performed. Like if you go to
Incredible.
my Instagram,
Yeah.
Chris Tanner Art, you can see all of her interviews. Like, Mom, tell me the time when you met the Queen of England. Mom, tell me the
Wow.
time when you
Very special,
divorced
special
my dad.
Nice.
Tell me the time when you met Muhammad Ali. Tell me the time when you got, all these, and you can see like
Mhm.
these incredible, like she was even doing jobs on roller skates. She
Mm.
was Rosie the Riveter during World War II. I mean,
Wow.
Amazing.
okay, here's one little teeny, are we going on to
No,
No, we're
okay.
fine. No,
Bring it,
listen to
bring
you
it.
forever. Bring it on. yeah.
So when she was 10, she got in the car. My grandmother was this fabulous Polish chef that worked for in the executive dining room for our steel mill,
Mhm.
and she took my mother to California when my mom was 10 and paid a neighbor to drive. She didn't drive, and so California was just all orange groves and avocado
Right in
orchards.
those days.
And so it was my mom was born in 26, so this was 1936.
Mhm.
And they stopped. My mother had never seen an orange tree. She thought,
Mm.
the oranges just came from the supermarket.
Right.
And so they stopped, and my grandma got out, and said, Sally, these are orange trees. And then this beautiful blonde lady came out of the orange trees.
So beautiful.
And my grandma said, well, oh, this is my daughter, Sally. She's never seen an orange before, like from a tree.
Mhm.
And the beautiful blonde woman took the orange off the tree and said, oh, well, little girl, hi. These are my oranges. I'm a movie star. My name is Marion Davies.
Oh, stop! What an incredible!
And my grandmother
Oh, yeah.
wasn't impressed that a movie star, but she was
What a
impressed because
story.
the lady was so beautiful. Lady was so nice. To
Right,
my mother.
right. Because she
But
was
isn't that
so-
incredible?
It's
And
a
That's
beautiful
so
story.
all these stories are on my Instagram that you can look at, and you can hear all these interviews of Sally. Which
And
Yeah,
now,
which
where
are
does
really-
how can people find out more
Yeah.
to go? Or
It-
I guess
it-
it's right there.
it's
Yep.
Christopher Tanner
No,
Art.
no.
That's the
That's not it.
website.
No,
Yeah, we
no,
need the
that's
No,
Instagram.
no,
not
no,
it.
no, no, that's
That's
not
the
it.
website.
Yeah, that's the website.
It's called Chris Tanner Art, and it's all one word.
Right.
And it's
And that's
Instagram.
That's on your Instagram. But
That's
is
Instagram.
this
That's your website.
That's my
this is your
website for my
website.
art.
Okay.
Right.
Which I don't even really know how to deal with it.
right.
So none of the
Somebody
new
else
stuff.
put it up there.
Yeah, no, it
We have a
takes a
bunch of
team of
comments.
people.
It
to,
takes
um,
an entire village.
So is it?
Well, we have comments. We always read the comments.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
It just,
I
it's a
wonder
good
if your glasses would work. No, they're not good for me.
okay. Eddie Cruz,
Yeah,
my
I
buddy
forgot my
from the
glasses.
Bronx,
Hi,
says
Eddie.
that story is priceless.
Love it.
LOL. We're not sure which story he was talking about. Suze Genero, a friend of ours who's a designer from Massachusetts. Hugs and kisses. Teresa Sabin says, happy show day, my darlings.
Thank you, Teresa,
Thank
from
you.
Florida.
Lisa Jenkins says, oh my God. And I took the acid.
Oh, there's Dan Vetta. Hi,
Lisa-
Dan.
This is my wonderful friend from Pennsylvania, amazing activist, by the way.
Cameron Cole, who's our
Producer.
producer says, what I have been able to hear is going great. Also love Chris's sweater.
Oh yeah,
We
Oh,
got to
yeah.
talk about
it's a
this.
drawing.
Yeah, this is
it's a drawing.
gorgeous.
This is his drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of my drawings.
Yeah, and it's painted. It's actually painted on. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just
That's fabulous. And Lisa Jenkins also says he is so funny.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for watching, Lisa.
Gladiola Gladrex
Gladiola
says, love
Oh
Chris
yes,
Tanner.
Gladiola. Hello.
Says, I love Chris Tanner's art. Thank you for this great video.
Oh, of course.
And
Fabulous.
then Vetta
Thank you.
says, Chris is so fabulous.
I love Dan.
We all
know
love
that,
Dan. Dan
right?
is a one.
See, I
wonderful
traded.
And
makeup
Maria-
artist.
I traded.
You
with
traded
Dan
with Dan.
when he had a beautiful business and
Mm-hmm.
with clothes and everything, and I even got Cyndi Lauper to
Oh, how
get some of
fabulous!
his clothes
Nice.
or introduce them. I don't know how that went.
I love Dan.
But he is a fantastic, gorgeous.
Makeup
a
artist
talented
too.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
really talented.
And Maria Beard sends
Hi,
a
Maria.
hug and kiss.
Gorgeous.
Hello.
Gorgeous.
That was fabulous.
Yeah.
So, are there any parting words? Anything that you would like to
Well,
Share.
or share some words of wisdom or
well,
anything you want to say?
I just believe that we just have to enjoy each moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, just even if it's crazy and wild and difficult,
And
just
difficult.
look around. And if you're upset, get out and take a walk around the block.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely
and
right.
Just like I said, gather yourself around yourself and present your brooch
Yes. Present your brooch.
We sit
and breathe
and
and drop. Feel the earth under your feet
Mhm.
I love it.
and take a breath and smell
Mhm.
those roses.
Yes.
Or and take in. We left this out, but Chris became very close with someone named Fiona when he
Oh,
was
yeah. My
taking
best
care of
friend.
his mom. She
Mhm.
became his best friend. She's a pot-bellied pig. And
Yeah.
I would tune
Oh.
into his Facebook every day because he was making videos about this ethereal creature.
Yeah, she's so
Which
gorgeous.
led to a whole series. I know the person said to you, dragons aren't your thing, but farm animals weren't your thing till then. You started illustrating farm animals.
Oh yeah.
It was a whole other area.
It's Ferndale where my mom.
Yeah.
It's this magical Victorian little town where her and her partner Patricia, a beautiful, a fabulous judge, the Honorable Patricia Hofstetter, and my mother were partners, and they drove over this bridge into this magical place called Ferndale,
Right.
with
Mhm.
all these animals, rams.
Yeah, like that is
Wow.
storybooks.
Yeah,
They were
and
so
it's
storybook
It's
animals.
so
yeah.
beautiful. And Fiona is this pig that I would, walk by, and I would bring her carrots and apples, and she was my best friend.
Uh-huh.
But he would call her. He
I
would
call-
say, you'd see an empty
Fiona.
barnyard, and you'd hear his voice go. I don't know why, but I
Fiona,
love this.
and she'd run.
Fiona, and she would run.
With a little snorts.
Yeah.
Yes, she would snort
And the
it
tail, and the tail is wagging,
like a
and
person.
and she would just
I love that.
just eat
person.
and it was just so much joy
There was so much
watching her
joy.
eat,
Uh-huh.
and like because she loved eating, and so I love watching her love. It's just all.
And
love.
you know what? We love that you were here. You are such a positive force.
Oh,
Let me get a hug.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow
See
night.
you
Nice to
tomorrow
see you.
night.
Mwah.
La
Thank
Mama, 47 Great Jones Street, 6 to 8. Be there or be
Yes.
And then
square.
then also the 12th,
The 12th, April
April
12th.
12th.
the fabulous fashion show with
I
Diego
have it.
Montoya,
Yes.
Gene Dazzle, and Dusty Children.
At La Mama.
At La
La Mama
Mama.
Galleria.
La Mama
Galleria.
Galleria.
Yes.
Yes, and go to it on Instagram,
It's Chris Tanner Art, all one word,
Chris Tanner Art.
on Instagram.
And
Yeah.
or you can go to his website at ChristopherTannerArts.com.
Right.
Okay.
And
You-
find out
you're easy to
everything about
find,
this
yeah.
So
wonderful
nice
man.
to meet you. Mwah.
Bye bye,
All
everybody.
my
See you
love.
next time.
Bye. Mwah.